Welcome back to another first impression, this time for the anime Tougen Anki. Here's the synopsis from any list. The bloodlines of Oni and Momotaro have been passed down among certain humans for generations. Long ago, the Oni, aware of their own ferocity, lived in seclusion. However, their peace was shattered by an invasion led by Momotaro. Over thousands of years, these two factions formed the Momotaro Agency and the Oni Agency, respectively, and have been locked in conflict ever since. The protagonist, Shiki Ichinose, suddenly learns of his Oni lineage following an unexpected attack by Momotaro. This revelation sets Shiki on a path to discover the destiny that lies within his blood, a meeting with the Oni dwelling within him. A new generation of dark heroics begins here in this tale of demons. I watched the first 3 episodes and I found it pretty enjoyable, pretty fine. It seems this is, it's like a shonen fight anime, I would describe it as, which is not really up to, not up my alley. But I do like the animation. We have like CG animation, 3D animation. They use it pretty well. It blends in well with the 2D. And, naturally, from what I know, it would save money. However, if you do 3D CG stuff, you have to use it well. And I feel like they use it well in the show. We get like shots that you can do in 2D, but are pretty difficult to do. We have like a shot where we have 2 people engaged in a fight. We have time standing still, and then we rotate the canvas. We swish around, have like camera work, which is hard to do in 2D, but in 3D, not as hard seemingly, because this is one of the shots they like to do in 3D. So I find it pretty good animation in general. The art style is pretty good. We do have some typical character designs, I would say. Additionally, characters are pretty standard, I would say. In general, I am not a fan of the characters we have in the show, straight up. The main character, he is just like, he's stupid, he's quick to anger, and he's just an angry dude. It feels a little bit like Byakugan, what's his name? I do not remember, from My Hero Academia, the explodey boy. It feels like him as the main character, which, I mean, sure, you can have growth and so on, fine, but not what I like as a character. The other characters that we see in the first 3 episodes that are more or less, in his age bracket, they all seem pretty standard characters from this, as far as we know. However, we do not have much time to see them in the first 3 episodes. We are straight up going from action to action, seemingly. So, take it with a grain of salt, the characters itself. We do not have seen a lot of them. The teacher, I like the teacher. He seems pretty cool. He's the, he feels like Levi from Attack on Titan. Straight up. Pretty pragmatic, doing his own thing, going by his own rules, more or less. But everything advancing towards the goal. The story itself, we don't really have much. We only know they are Oni. They supposedly are dangerous for humans. And we have the Momotaro. They fight each other. Momotaro have like a black mist they use to create weapons. And the Oni use blood to fight. And the Oni have some, they can berserk. This is where the ferocity comes in. But if you believe the synopsis, they try to just keep for themselves, but the Momotaro were like, we can't let you be alive, so we attack you. So I don't really know which side is quote unquote bad, which is good, which is in terms of overall goodness, badness, I don't know. The biggest part I like is mostly the animation. That one is pretty good. I do not like the characters. I'm not really a fan of shonen stuff. We do get a lot of action early on, so it is hard to judge the characters because we do not have much time to spend on. I don't like the main character. He is probably one of the weakest parts for me. I don't like his archetype straight up at all. So, you know, however, never got bored and seemed pretty fine to me. AniList has it at 69, nice. And my anime list at 7.06. The first 3 episodes, I would say, are like an 8 out of 10. A pretty weak 8 out of 10. But depending on how this is going to develop, if the characters stay like they are, the other characters additionally to our main character, it feels very flaccid in characters itself. We are going to see some interesting fights. We already saw some interesting fights. There is a lot of potential there. However, I do not believe the fights itself could carry this whole show.